So Agni Ama. Agni, as we know already, is digestion, which is basically a complex process, which is a bioenergy that is present in the stomach, duodenum, and your GI tract. And it's your enzymes, your bile salts, your stomach acid, all these components that can break down your food and carry it through your GI tract and deliver it to the tissues of your body, strengthening them and nourishing them and building them. Ayurveda actually defines health as Sama Agni. Sama means balanced and Agni is fire, so it's balanced fire. And it says, you've probably heard an expression, we are what we eat, but Ayurveda goes one step further and says we are not just what we eat, but rather what we can digest. So when your digestion becomes disrupted, whatever we eat, your body loses the ability to benefit from and be nourished by, reducing your ojas, your immunity, your vitality, and your longevity. Ojas, your overall well-being, span of life, and vitality. These are all dependent on the state of your Agni. Ayurveda implicates slow Agni, slow digestion. It's called Manda Agni. Manda means slow. Ayurveda implicates Manda Agni in the beginning of autoimmune disease. And this happens due to vitiation of doshas, vata, pitta, or kapha. And then food that goes into our stomach is no longer digested properly, causing formation of ama. Ama is undigested food particles. These unprocessed, undigested food particles contain foreign antigens to which our system produces antibodies. You could see in this picture on the right. So a healthy fire, healthy Agni in your stomach will break down the food that comes into the stomach and then moves to the, through the duodenum and into the GI tract, and it'll be broken down every step of the way as it moves through the GI tract in the matter of about 5 hours, the normal digestion cycle. However, and then when the food is broken down to sufficiently small particles, then they could be absorbed into the bloodstream and carried to their corresponding tissues where the cellular intelligence, tejas, delivers them exactly where they're supposed to go. Okay? Your body possesses intelligence that cannot be comprehended by our mind. It's that innate intelligence, tejas, that governs metabolism, right? Now, if your Manda Agni, slow fire, you see the little fires? It's on slow burn and it's too slow. It's not cooking, if you will. You could think of your stomach as a cooking pot. You put ingredients and a good fire will cook them, break them down, make the flavors all come together and into something that's like a delicious, soup or broth that is it's pre-digested, so to speak, and very easy for you to benefit from. Now, when your Agni is slow, it fails to break down those food particles into a sufficiently smaller their components, and those big food particles start to accumulate in the gut, okay, and sit there and fail to move properly through the system and get excreted. And because they're so big, they kind of lodge themselves in between the villi that line your gut, and they get through the big food particles, those heavy proteins, such as what we have in the gluten case, right? They get through the gut lining and enter the bloodstream where they don't belong. They're not ready for that bloodstream. Okay? So these food particles, this ama, right? They're foreign antigens to which your system produces antibodies because it doesn't recognize them. It doesn't accept them as a part of itself. And it starts to create these immune complexes with this toxic ama particles that then circulate in the blood until they end up in some weak tissue unique to you, okay? Everybody's weakness is unique. And they settle there, start to cause problems. This immune complexes, deposition sites, are determined by the innate weakness of certain tissues. That is, again, it's unique to each individual, and by the state of channels. Okay, shrotas, they're called in Ayurveda, channels which affect the circulation to those damaged tissues. So Ayurveda says it's not enough to just treat the damaged tissue. You have to also deal with the channel that affects the circulation of that ama to those tissues where it's settled.